How does Gibson do this? Do they have like some weird Skeksis lab where they're draining podlings of their essence and
your vital essence,
and sticking that into their guitars? I don't know why, but it seems like every freaking Gibson that I pick up and play, I end up loving and then wanting. Well, it's because you're a giant Gibson fanboy. Yeah, admittedly, I love Gibson, but I'm also a huge admirer of Leo Fender, and it's very rare for me to pick up a Fender guitar and have it feel like an event. But when I play Gibsons, they do feel that way. And this very lovely J45 was no exception. Now let me tell you really quickly how I ended up with this guitar, because it wasn't a planned thing. And just really quick for reference, that opening song, I used the J45, obviously. And of course, my lovely Telecaster, all recorded through Logic. Anyway, back to the J40. Oh no, not again. Hey guys, is your favorite instrument looking a little shaggy? No one wants to see that. Not to mention, it makes your neck look smaller. But thanks to Manscaped, you'll be able to perform at any moment, and you'll look amazing doing it. Just use promo code GUITARBALLS to save, honestly, no money. They're not sponsoring this video, but they should be, because target audience and all that. Gibson unveiled the J45 in 1934, and its primary purpose was to compete with Martin and their line of dreadnoughts. And since then, it's become one of the most beloved acoustic guitars in history, played by an absolute who's who of iconic musicians on iconic records. And for good reason. It plays and sounds so damn good, which is exactly how I ended up with this, even though I wasn't looking for one. Now, I'd always dreamed of Martin acoustics, which I covered in a video prior to this one. But as I was doing my research, I just ended up coming across a lot of YouTube videos of the Gibson J45. And the more I listened to it, the more I just fell in love with the sound. I couldn't stop thinking about it. It's so beautifully warm and balanced, and it doesn't have that woofy low end, and it's not too jangly at the top either. It just feels so versatile, like you could play it on any genre from any era. So even after I picked up my dream Martin acoustic, I just couldn't stop thinking about this guitar. And when I saw a demo pop up on Sweetwater, I just All right, let's go over a couple of the areas where people tend to ask the most questions. And the first is build quality. Now, I have had just maybe a string of amazing luck, or maybe the Gibson quality control thing is wildly overblown. Probably that one. Even the binding on it just looks so well done. It's very precise. But this guitar is fantastic. It was a demo, but I don't know why. I think somebody just wanted to return it and made up a good reason why, because there's no dents or scratches or things out of whack or overspray or I don't know. It just seems to be perfect in my eyes. Not perfect. Let's be real. Nothing's perfect, but it's got the kind of classically bone dry fretboard that for whatever reason always happens on a Gibson. I always have to pop the strings off and condition the fretboard on a new one. I don't know why that is, but it's really not that big of a deal. It is something that I have to do. Fretwork's great on it. I don't see tons of tool marks on the fretboard. There's some, but honestly, it's in great shape. The nut is actually cut really well on this one. And overall, honestly, I think the build quality on this is awesome. My one gripe, which has come up in other videos, are these Grover tuners. I just don't like them. And maybe it's just a personal preference. I don't know why. They always feel stiff. They always feel like they're just kind of gritty inside. They never turn very well. I feel like to fight them even for the most basic stuff for whatever reason. I know they look nice and it's kind of that classic thing, but I don't like these Grover tuners at all. All right, let's talk playability. One of the things that was a bit of a concern for me at the beginning was kind of the slope shoulder style. Like I've played dreadnoughts and owned dreadnoughts in the past, and I do like that body style quite a bit. But I thought that maybe with the slope shoulders, it would be just like kind of like a little bit more slippery and wouldn't sort of hold itself in place, but it really does. That was a completely unfounded concern. The other thing that I really like about the J45 is how the body tapers. So it's hard to see, but it's thicker here than it is here. And because of that taper, it sits really nicely against the body. I don't feel like I'm having to reach over a big bodied guitar to play it at all. It actually feels smaller than it really is. The neck is definitely a little bit beefier neck. Like if I compare this to my Martin, it's much, much bigger. I personally prefer beefier necks, so if that's not your thing, you won't like this. This is very much kind of like that late 50s style neck that is very similar to what I would feel on like my Les Paul Special. Now again, the sound, it's so beautifully balanced. I just find it to be just like honestly damn near perfect. Like there's no notes, there's no whatever you want to call it, frequencies that hit my ear the wrong way with this guitar. It just, for me, it always sounds great. It doesn't matter if I'm finger picking, if I'm strumming hard. It's just, man, it's just such a versatile instrument that I really, really enjoy. So all in all, to be perfectly honest, this is my favorite Gibson guitar. No offense to my Les Paul Special, but I really don't compare them. That's an electric guitar. Obviously, this is an acoustic, but I think they've just absolutely killed it with this model. It's clearly been an icon and a staple for what, like 90 years now. And so this isn't like some revolutionary new view on this guitar, but I can't believe how much I enjoy it. I got it literally 2 days after I bought my dream guitar, and now I feel like I have 2 of them. As always, thanks for watching. Now go play guitar.